This is, as you know, if you've been on this call before, this is a call that we do every Monday. Some of the ladies started naming it Mondays with Dale, so I guess that's stuck. So it's why do we do this call every week? We do it for a couple different reasons. We want to create a family type atmosphere. We want to help people keep up to date, and we want to be able to have good communication. You've heard me say this over and over again. If we don't have good communication, we cannot grow. You need to, everybody on the team needs to know what's happening, when it's happening. If there's obstacles that we've run into, we need to know how to overcome them. If there's contests, whatever there is, we need to keep everybody up to date on it. When you bring new people into the business, think about when you first joined. You're a little confused. You don't really know what to do next. The best thing you can do is to set your people up with other people that are on this journey with them, and it makes them feel more comfortable. It increases longevity of our affiliates, because if they feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, they'll want to stay with it. We all know that this type of business can be tough at times, and you never want to just be alone. You never want to be battling things alone. You want to know that you have a family that you can reach out to on those days when you need questions answered, when sometimes you just need a pat on the back just to bring yourself back up. So that's why we do this. Now, today we're going to be doing something a little different today. We do have a guest speaker today, and I'll introduce him in just a minute. But we've always talked about communication over the last few months when we've been doing this, but it's been kind of a one-way type of thing. And I wanted today to be more of a question and answer type situation. So you guys can ask us questions and get things answered that we may not have answered before. Now, I want to put a couple rules on that. As far as how you can ask, you can either ask through the chat, we'll watch that, or when I free it up for questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask the questions. Now, if we get a lot of people on here, we may have to kind of coordinate that a little bit, but we'll make it work. As far as the questions, please ask questions that we can answer. Don't get into specific problems today that you have. If you're waiting on a shipment or you're trying to figure out about how to return something, all those type of things that are procedural, please if you have a problem with those, reach out to us afterwards. This is more questions that will benefit everybody. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to hustle through my normal stuff that I do, so that we can get right to talking to our speaker and answering questions. So again, one of the things today we always talk about is, again, communication. Remember, if you're new to this group, to download WhatsApp. That's critical for in Africa. The Africans all use that. Telegram, you want to download Telegram because that's what our corporate office uses for the most part. So if you want to be in touch with more with the American teams and more with corporate staff, then you want to be part of Telegram. Obviously, you want your people to have Zoom so they can get on these calls. Set them up. Most people are already there, but make sure people are on Facebook so they can go to our Facebook pages and learn from there for both the corporate level and some of our teams. And YouTube, have access to YouTube. We do everything that I do each week, and is put into a YouTube videos. And I have my own YouTube channel where people can go to, and then of course I post them all around so people can see them. So again, we're trying to make sure everybody has the training, has the communication, and has the wherewithal to succeed. Anybody that wants it, I always give you my personal number. So if you need to reach out to me, you can. That's 1-802-343-9075. I'll say that one more time. 1-802-343-9075. That'll get you on my Telegram, onto my WhatsApp, my personal phone, whatever way you want to reach out to me. Also, my Facebook account is dale.franklin.378. So if you haven't friended me and want to friend me, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll have that way of communicating too. If you're not already connected with us on our particular groups, you might not be getting some of the stuff that we've been doing. But if you reach out to me, if you aren't getting the information from me and from Jody Levanway, then reach out to us and let us know so we can get you on the list. She sends out stuff every single, well, for somebody new in the business who just came in, she sends them out a list of the apps to join and how to join them and where to go. She also sends out a list of groups to, both apps and groups to join. So where to join, and then what you want to join once you're already there. She also does daily postings. So whatever's happening tomorrow, she's going to post tonight, so you'll know tomorrow what's going on. She's great at this. She sends you the group, the address for the Zoom call if it's a Zoom call. She sends you the password if you need it. Everything's there, so you just have to click and go on. So we're making it as easy as possible for you guys to all be part of the communication that we all need so much. Meetings. Obviously, there's this meeting every Monday. The WIN Network in Africa with Alton and Adrian is daily, and their number is 897-379-4636. Of course, Jody will be sending that out to you too if you're on our list. And then every Saturday, Chris Bailey does it would be 8 p.m. Kenya time. We'll figure it out from there for the rest of you. But he does a opportunity presentation that anybody in the world can jump on and learn from him. Chris Bailey does a phenomenal job of both training and presentations. It's a slideshow presentation, so you can really get an understanding of what's going on. And his address, again, is 777-352-8173, and his password is 112021. So we got through that. Couple quick things about contest. Right now, we still have the leaderboard contest. It's going on through the 28th. And remember, this contest has been regionalized so that the top people around the world are going to be can earn $1,000. There's going to be 28 $1,000 prizes, and they're broken up by regions. In the African region, the top three the region includes Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, will earn $1,000. In South Africa and the DRC, the top three will win $1,000. And in Ghana and Nigeria, the top three will each win $1,000. So, and that's just those regions. There's a U.S. region, there's a European Union region, there's several others. So again, a total of 28 $1,000 prizes are going to be given out to people that did the best in their regions for this month. So keep that in mind. Then also the Vegas Mastermind event in Las Vegas. They've moved that out. It was going to originally be in March. It's now going to be May 12th through the 14th because of the coronavirus and such. And so basically they've extended the contest. So if you didn't qualify for the first 3 months, you got another chance. If you can be a 25K affiliate 2 out of the next 3 months, February, March, and April, you can qualify for the trip. Remember the rules are you have to be 25K for at least 2 out of the 3 months, and you have to be bonus pool qualified all 3 months. Okay, you want to make sure of that. And for those who've already qualified, we get to compete for VIP status. So if you've already qualified, if you do it again, we're going to be treated really great when we get there. So keep that in mind. Now, next thing I'd like to do is introduce our guest. We're very, very lucky today. We got basically the first affiliate to ever join My Daily Choice. Okay, he's a 7-figure earner. He's a rancher. He's owned his own trucking company over the years. He owns a construction company right now. I've known him a long time. He's a strategic thinker, and he's a doer. When he decides he's going to do something, he does it. And if he tells you he's going to get something done for you, it happens. I've known him for over 10 years. He's my friend, my mentor, and he's just a guy that I enjoy being around. His nickname in this company is the Cannabis Cowboy, well deserved. So I'd like to introduce Chris Robinson. Chris, are you there?
I'm here. How you doing today, Dale?
I'm doing great. Hey, thanks I know you're enjoying a little vacation time or easy time. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't have missed it. Appreciate everybody being here. It's good to see everybody on.
as you've been on this call before, and you know that it's kind of a conversation type thing. I'm gonna get through the first part a little bit more with you right now, and then we're gonna open it up for questions and answers.
Great.
So the first thing I'd like you to do for a few of the people here that haven't been on with you before, give us a little history of yourself from when you first, wherever you want to start, up to now with MDC.
Yeah, so I'll just go back to when I started my network marketing journey. Was 2008. I've been doing it full time for almost 13 years now, and I got into a business actually, and that's where I met Dale and Phil and Chris Bailey and actually Josh Swagel as well. And of course, all of us did great in that company. Josh and I ended up traveling a lot together. That's where myself and Josh Swagel become such good friends. We've literally traveled all over the whole world. We launched some international markets. You know, Josh in Ghana was one of his, and we did some European stuff in Australia and Canada, and I launched Ukraine and other things. But Josh and I was actually cross-line in that company. We was not financially connected through the compensation plan, and we ended up both of us found ourselves in the same position, which is we didn't have an upline. It was just Josh and I, and so we ended up helping each other and promoting each other's businesses and doing Super Saturday events and different things together. And then in 2014, we decided that we wanted to kind of shift gears from that company, and we left that company. And when we left, with great friendships, we maintained our friendships. We did it with some integrity. We didn't go bashing things and doing things like you see a lot that happens in this industry. But Josh called me one day, and him and I was actually looking at a bunch of other companies to join, and so we could work together. And after a grueling 90 days of talking to CEOs and top leadership and different corporate officials at so many companies, we decided or Josh decided that it would be best if he started his own. And he called and asked me. He said, I think I'm going to start my own company. And I thought he was crazy, of course. And I'm like, man, that's a bold move. And thank God I listened to what Josh had to say, and I accepted his invite to be the first affiliate in the company. And it's kind of all history now. We started with Peak Boost and Shield. Those are the only 3 products we had, not just for months, for years. We only had Peak Boost and Shield, and we started building our business that way. And then, of course, as you all know now, HempWorks launched, and now we have so many other brands. But back in the beginning, one of the main things, the thing that stuck out the most to me when Josh was telling me what kind of company he wanted, keep in mind, our first 10 conversations about My Daily Choice, there was no name. We didn't even know what the products were going to be. We didn't even know if it was health and wellness. We didn't know anything. At least I didn't. And I didn't know how the compensation plan worked. And Josh is talking about, starting this open-ended brand concept where we don't launch and brand ourselves as a health and wellness company or as a weight loss company or as a travel company. See, that's where the industry kind of gets in trouble. A lot of companies, you see them have a flash in the pan. They come out, they do big things, and then they're gone. And that's because they launch their business and they say, hey, here we are, this is our name, and we're a weight loss company. Or, hey, here we are, this is our name, and we're a travel company or a shake company or whatever that looks like. We launched and said, hey, here we are, we're My Daily Choice. Our first brand is in the health and wellness with our oral nutritional sprays, but there's so much more coming. And that's still our battle cry now. We have 5 brands, but the amount of brands we have will continually grow. We're perfectly positioned to take advantage of whatever the next hot thing is. 4 years ago or so it was CBD. Currently, right now, a lot of people are looking at the crypto stuff. So we have our Akashics. We know travel's going to boom middle to end of this year. We're already positioned there with High Life Travel. So, that's how I got started with My Daily Choice. That's how I met Josh and Dale and Phil and so many other awesome people in this industry. And yeah, it's been a heck of a ride, but I believe we're just getting started. So I'm excited for the future for sure.
But you're not the only one. We're pretty excited about this. You kind of talked a little bit about the fact that, and always intrigued me about what Josh said when he looked at all the companies that were successful. in network marketing, and the ones that were the biggest and most successful are the ones that had a lot of different brands. And so, and I know you elaborated on that before. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it's the concept that works, but not a lot of companies have been able to pull it off like we have. I think Josh has done a better job. There's 3 companies that come to mind that's successfully done it that are billion-dollar companies now, but they've been doing it for, almost 50 years, some of them. But I believe, Josh has actually done it better than those. They've just had more time. We're a $200 million company. We will be a billion or multi-billion-dollar company in the future. And I think, if you look at how they've done it successfully and what Josh has done, he's actually taken a multi-brand, open-ended brand concept and attached a more powerful compensation plan than any of those companies that successfully done it. And he's also attached the most robust online and offline marketing system available in our industry. And that system's free. It's crazy because I remember, Dale, when you and I and Phil was in business before, we paid $29 or $19 a month just for our back office, which is not abnormal in the network marketing space. And if we wanted to have a system like if most affiliates want to have access to the tools and resources that we have here at My Daily Choice, they're spending $200 to $400 per month just in tools and resources to be able to go build their business. But because Josh did this right, and because Josh is a systems guy, he was actually create the systems that we use, the tools that we use. He owns them, so they're free. Most network marketing companies are paying guys like Josh to build tools and systems for them, and then the affiliates have to pay whoever designed the system a monthly fee just to have access. So, Josh has just done it right. I mean, it hasn't been perfect every step of the way. I mean, I'll be flat honest with you, we've had ups and downs like everybody else, but I can tell you, when we have downs, that's when Josh gets it the most right, and that's when everything starts to take off and work again. And right now, we're just having some unbelievable success. And I always say the proof's in the pudding. As a rancher from Idaho, that's our terminology, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, this company's created a whole bunch of millionaires, a whole bunch of 100,000-aires, and thousands and thousands of people that's able to pay their car payment now they couldn't pay before, and pay their mortgage that they couldn't pay before. And it's all because of the concept, back to what your question was, of this open-ended brand. And you have to do it right. There's a bunch of companies out there struggling with different brands, but they just haven't been able to figure out exactly how to do it. And Josh was able to figure it out right out of the gate. So yeah, I can tell you that there's more coming very, very soon. And I'm excited for everybody to see what those brands are, because it's going to be just another feather in our cap as affiliates to go out and share with the world and spread the news and change lives doing it. So,
well, Josh has always been a student of history, which I appreciated, because, if you don't, they always talk about history repeats itself. If you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat the same mistakes. And because he learned from prior large network marketing companies how to build, and learned what their mistakes were, and was smart enough not to make the same ones that they made. So that put him one step ahead of a lot of these companies right off the bat.
Yeah, and one of his favorite, and mine too, we live by the motto that success leaves clues. So you pay attention to what's working and don't repeat the history that's not working, like you were just saying. And it's really, that's the simple formula right there.
Exactly. Something you just said, I want to reemphasize for people here, especially the new ones. I'm going to talk about four quick things. Registration. Most every network marketing company charges you a registration fee. We do not. Back office, as Chris said, most companies charge you a back office fee. And what they do is just like Chris said, they hire, most of them hire somebody to do the work, and say it's costing them $10 a piece to have the guys do that. They mark it up to $19.95 or $29.95. And so they're making money off of you as a distributor on the stuff that they should be giving you anyway, because it's helping you build their business. Josh is smart enough not to do that. So you're getting a back office for free. You're getting your marketing for free, which again, most companies charge you outrageous money for a marketing program, which 9 times out of 10 doesn't even work that well, because it was a generic marketing plan that wasn't specific to the industry that you're working in, and it just didn't fit what we were doing. Josh has custom created one that works just for us. And that's free. And then on top of that, we have our phone app, which I don't know of anybody else that has a phone app that doesn't charge a fee for it. So all those things are free. The only thing you pay for in our company is product. That's it. I mean, that's the fairest business I could think of. As far as any other overhead you'll have, it's overhead you decide to have. If you want to have an office in your house, if you want to travel, that's your decision. But the bottom line is the expense is contained to just product as far as the company is concerned. I would like, is there anybody out now? I'd like to get into the questions. Anybody out there have a question right off the bat? I know when we first start this, everybody's a little shy. So if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask it, or to just type it in the chat and we'll start answering. If somebody doesn't give me one fairly quick, I've got a few I'm going to ask, but go ahead and feel free to ask questions. Who's got one? Don't be shy.
I'll go.
Okay. Cannabis
Hey,
Chief,
Chris, I'm good, Dale. I'm good, man. Chris, what was your biggest challenge when you started with My Daily Choice, and how did you overcome that challenge? Was it a mental challenge? Was it maybe a challenge where you had to do event after event to get to your goal? What was that biggest challenge for you?
Man, that's a good question. So I would say the biggest challenge when we started was starting. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever been a part of a startup network marketing company, but stuff doesn't always work. You're still working the bugs out of the system. When we started, we never had a corporate phone number. We had 0 customer service agents. Everything was in the cloud. There was, if I had an issue with an order or shipment, I couldn't say email support@mydailychoice.com. That didn't exist. We didn't have awesome country managers like you guys have over there in Africa, whether it's in Ghana or Kenya, and we didn't have regional managers. We had nothing. It was really Josh, Jenna, and myself, and Sonia, of course, was there back then. But I mean, and it was grinding and gutting it out on a daily basis. And another issue was funds. I had just resigned my only paycheck I had. I didn't have a ton of money to go travel around and build the business, and we was trying to build it with integrity, meaning we weren't reaching out to people in our previous business. We was trying to build it with integrity and starting new, and what we were using, Facebook marketing and different things, and just figuring all of that out. And it was painful, just like I'm sure a lot of you have experienced. You spend the first year or two trying to build your business, and you're looking at this and you're going, man, I put in 30 hours this week and I made $30. That's $30 an hour. We all were in the same boat. We all did the same thing. But I understand, and I hope you guys will understand how network marketing works. And to answer your question, Cannabis Chief, the hardest thing was being patient for the magic to happen. And we're trained in our lives to go to work, get a paycheck, clock in on Monday, clock out on Friday. However many hours you had, you times that by your hourly wage, that's what you get paid. And we're also programmed that on Friday, if payday doesn't come, we start looking for a new job, right? How many of you actually go back to work if your boss missed 1 paycheck, 2 paychecks, or he decided to pay you $1 an hour instead of your $15 or $30 an hour rate? But that's the mental block you have to get through when you're starting this business. Is network marketing, typically, back to our traditional jobs, if you have a traditional job, is you go to work, you get paid, you go to work, you get paid, you go to work, you get paid. Network marketing is completely different, because it's not a 40-year plan to retire like what traditional business is. Even if you can retire in 40 years, most people still can't, because they're trying to retire on half the income that they couldn't live on anyways. Network marketing is completely different. It's a 3 to 5 year plan, and it goes, instead of work, check, it goes work, check, work, check, work, check, work, check. Then after you got stuff flowing and you're starting to build a team, that's when the miracle starts to happen. And it starts to go check, work, check, work, check, work, check. But you got to get past the fact that you're going to be paying your dues maybe for free for the first year, 2 or 3 before it actually kicks over. Some people, and look, we say 3 to 5 year plan. I know a ton of people that did it in 3 to 5 months, but that's not the average and that's not the normal. I'm just here to give you what I believe. I know everybody on this call can do this in a 3 to 5 year span. Every one of you. Not everybody can do it in 3 to 5 weeks or 3 to 5 months, but everybody on this call can do it in 3 to 5 years, but you have to stay consistent. So, you know, the hardest thing to answer your question was mindset and knowing what it took and believing that I could do it. That was the hardest part when I started with My Daily Choice.
You just said something there about consistent. We all know people who get in this business and they work like a son of a gun for 2 or 3 months, and then they take a couple months off, and then they come back and they expect to take off right where they left off. And that's not how it happens, does it?
No, it's got to be one. Consistency is the number one key to making it in this industry. And it's not that you have to be consistently 10 hours a day from day one for 3 to 5 years. If you make, you know, if you're sitting there right now and you're going, okay, how do I be consistent? The first thing you have to do is set realistic expectations. You know, if you're a mother of 2 and a wife, and you got a full-time job, and you need to realize how much extra time you have in the week. Realistically, you need to set a goal of talking to however many people a week that time allows. You know, if you're not full-time in this, maybe it's 2 to 3 people a week. If you are full-time, it should be 30 to 40 people a week. But if you're just starting to break into this, set realistic expectations and then do them every single day, not for weeks, not 4 months, for years. And then you'll start to realize your expectations can grow because your paycheck is. You'll also realize that as you start to earn money with this side hustle that we call My Daily Choice, it quickly starts to free up time because you're not having to work near as much and you have a lot more time freedom as well. So consistency is key. And it has to be not consistent weeks, not consistent months. I'm saying consistent days for years, and that's when it happens.
And let's follow that up with one other thing. As far as when you're consistent, your team sees what you're doing, and that creates duplication. Why don't you address that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't ask people to do something you're not willing to. And if you're not willing to do it, your people aren't going to be willing to do it. Even if you think they can't tell, they know, because you're not recruiting. You don't have new people coming on the calls. You don't have all this going on. And so you have to lead by example, because you can't treat this like typical work environment, meaning if you get 10 people in your organization, you don't become boss, you become leader. And there's a big difference. Leaders lead from the front, bosses push from behind. So you have to make sure you're leading on a daily basis, you know, and just an example, right now, I'm on vacation with my family. They're loading the truck to head home. I should be on the road right now, but Dale asked me to do a call. And so I pushed everything back to do these calls and to lead and to let people know, hey, we're out here in the trenches with you guys working on a daily basis, and we'll continue to do so, even though I don't necessarily financially, I don't have to do that. But I just, like you say, you have to lead by example. And so leading with integrity from the front is the only way to do it. So, and again, that's back to consistency. You know, I've been doing this for 6 years now in this business, in My Daily Choice, and I still have goals of how many new people a week I want to talk to, a day, an hour. And I check on myself at noon, and at the end of every day, you know, the question I ask myself is, did I do enough today that I would hire me? And if at the end of the day, if you wouldn't hire yourself, you better figure that out, because nobody else is going to. And then more importantly, nobody's going to believe in you if you're not being productive and doing some sort of activity on a daily basis to help grow your business and help your teams grow their business as well.
I love you said that, because that's the last thing I do every night before I go to bed. As I ask myself the same question: would I hire me for what I did today? Would I keep myself on for another day? Did I earn my day? And you know, that it's just a good mindset to go to bed with. It means when you wake up in the morning, you're fired up to prove once again that you can do that. So I agree 100%. Other questions? Feel free. Let's see. Do we have any? There's nothing yet in the chats, but Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question, guys.
How you doing today, Dale?
Good.
Yeah, I have a question. I've been doing a pretty good bit of extensive training because I do take this job seriously. And there was actually a video I was listening to, how to build a successful network marketing business with Eric Worre, I think it is. And he speaks of the skills that we need to, be good at. And I am just going to be, totally honest with you. I'm kind of stumped at the follow-up. What is the best way to do the follow-up, or how would you even explain a new person, this is how you follow up?
Chris?
Is that question for me or Dale?
Let's go to Chris.
All right. So look, the most important step to following up is to make sure you're setting a follow-up expectation from the time you send the first information. It's really hard to follow up with somebody. Let's say I was talking to Mr. Alton Patterson. I see you on the call, buddy. Good to see you. And I sent him some information. And he said, hey, yeah, send me some information over. And I just push send and I send him my link or whatever. And that's it. Then 2 days later, I'm sitting there going, man, I wonder when I should call Alton. I wonder what time I should call. I wonder if Alton's seen the information. So the key to following up, the first key to following up is set up the follow-up during the exposure. So when I send that information and Alton says, yeah, send me your link, I'll say, okay, I'm going to send you my link. How long is it going to take you to view 12 minutes of information? Should I get back with you in 12 minutes? Is it going to take you a few hours, or are you going to need a couple of days? So I already set up the follow-up before I send the first information, because that does two things. One, that lets them know that I am going to be following up. And two, it also gives them a timestamp of when they have to have that information looked at. Because if I just send it to Alton, he's going to look at it whenever he gets a minute. But if I tell Alton and we agree that I'm going to call Alton tomorrow at 4 p.m., well, tomorrow at 3 p.m., when he hasn't looked at the information yet, he's going to go, oh, man, I got to look at this information. Chris is going to be calling me in an hour, right? So the very first step in following up is to make sure you've already scheduled the follow-up before you send the information. That just makes it easy. It makes it more comfortable for you and them, and it makes it more effective. And it also gives them an exact timestamp of when the information has to be looked at. Now, as far as when I actually make that phone call, I would call on and say, hey, Alton, this is Chris Robinson. I'm just following up with you like we talked about. We were scheduled to follow up right now. I'm just calling to see if you had time to view the information I sent you. If he says yes, it's very simple. It's one sentence. What did you like best about the information I sent you? What did you like best? And he's going to go, I actually like, the compensation plan. Well, as soon as he says compensation plan, I don't talk about products. I don't talk about daily brands. I don't talk about it because I know what he's interested in. Money's a motivator for him. So then as soon as he tells me what he's interested in, the very next thing, and write this down, that I do is I say, man, Alton, I understand exactly how you feel, because that's what I seen in this company as my hot button too. I love the way this compensation plan works, and this compensation plan's changed my life. And then I ask them, do you have any questions on the compensation plan? And they start asking the questions, and you'll learn that your follow-up calls will get way shorter, more effective, and way less time involved if you ask them that question, what did you like best? Because that's what you're going to talk about. So many times, and I've been on a lot of three-way calls, and I hear affiliates do this great, and they're like, man, what did you like best? And they'll say, well, I like the HempWorks brand. I have a friend on CBD. I think the CBD could help me. And then that affiliate at that time will say, man, wait till you see our compensation plan. No, that's completely wrong. They weren't even thinking compensation plan. So if you ask, what do you like best, stay in that lane, answer questions, and then you'll see your results get way more effective. So, and if I call Alton and he says, man, I view the information, I'm not really interested in a business right now. I got my own stuff going on and I'm not busy. This is the next sentence that will make you $1 million. Write this down. Who do you know? Okay, Alton, you've seen this information. Who do you know that might like to earn some money from home? Who do you know that COVID's affected that would like to earn an extra few $100s a month, or potentially thousands a month? Who do you know that could benefit from our products? Who do you know that want to save money on travel? Who do you know that wants to learn how to trade Forex? Who do you know? Then you'll never run out of people. You could give me one person exclude me from the rest of the planet, and I could build a business because I would play the who do you know game and I wouldn't hang up till I had referrals. So Alton gives me 2 names, right? Then I call those 2 people. If those 2 people are interested, I get 2 names from them. Now I got 4 people to talk to. It's very, very effective, and you'll never run out of marketing or leads or anything else. You don't have to spend money on the internet to get leads. You don't have to do any of these things if you just follow up correctly.
Absolutely. Everything you said is point on. The one thing I would add is every time I talk to somebody who's interested in this business, no matter what stage they're in, before I hang up, I always set up the next call. If they, as Chris said, if they are really not interested at this point in time, I'm going to try to get a who do you know? I'm going to try to get somebody else I can talk to. If they're interested, then I say, okay, let's when you want to enroll. Do you want to enroll right now? You want me to get back to you tomorrow? Whatever you want to do there. Once they enroll, when would you like me to set up some training so I can show you how the back office works? Or when do you want to have your first launch party? So you're always setting up for the next follow up. So don't just say it. Have a calendar. I don't care what kind of calendar you have. I'm old school. I have an actual calendar, and I write down that I told Alton that I'm going to get back to him next Wednesday. Well, it's written in there. Next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. He agreed he wanted me to get back to him, and that's what I'm going to do. And then I usually take it one step further. If it's somebody in another country, the day that I'm supposed to contact them back, that morning, I'll reach out. I'll reach out to them on WhatsApp or just say, hey, just checking to see if our scheduled call for today is still a good time for you. Okay, so by doing that, people know they're on your mind, and that creates value. That means they know that you're serious about what you're doing. So again, always plan your next, before the end of any conversation, we'll have somebody plan the next follow-up, and I think you'll grow very, very quickly by doing that. Questions? Somebody else, feel free. Don't be shy. And if it's somebody that's already asked a question, feel free to ask another one. Anybody? Well, I've got a couple here. Oh, there we go. Peter.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, this is a question to Chris.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
No. Okay, I'm awesome. Now that you are MDC, a house of brands, and maybe you feel like you wanna promote Akashex, while other people wanna do HempWorks and all that. How do you manage to build a team promoting all the MDC brands?
So I'm not sure I know what the question is there. How do you build a team promoting all the brands? Team.
Oh, you just.
How do you build your organization without confusing your friends, your team? If you're focusing on Akashex, nutritional sprays, or hemp.
Right. So I understand that. So that goes back to when I'm doing the follow-up with somebody, I'll know what they're interested in because I ask, what did you like best? And some people will say, I like the sprays, or I like the HempWorks, or I like High Life Travel. And so I take them from what they love, and then after they start the business because of what they're interested in, now it's time to let them know, hey, you're not, just because you signed up with Akashex doesn't mean you can only promote Akashex. You can promote everything that My Daily Choice has to offer through only one auto ship. You don't have to be on a spray auto ship to promote HempWorks. If you're using the educational platform, yeah, you need to have the Akashex subscription. Same with High Life Travel. But as far as, you don't have to pick and choose. So I just explained to people, and this is a good question because some people do get really confused on, okay, well, now I'm a My Daily Choice affiliate. What do I want to do? And I always just tell people, promote your heart, promote what you're interested in. And then people will see that we have all these different things. And it's It's just a way to capture more of the demographic, having something for everybody. So, you know, I'm really passionate about our HempWorks line, and I'm in America and I'm spoiled. So I have every single product we have to offer, but I still promote, you know, I always lead with the CBD. I lead with HempWorks, but that's not necessarily where I end. It's all about asking them what your prospect's interested in, and then going down that line with them. And a lot of times you realize that people are actually, I've never seen, I don't know that I've ever had anybody interested just in one thing. Every time I've talked to people, they have at least 2 or 3 things that they like that we have to offer. And it's just, and that's just another testament to how smart Josh is, because it's all, we get paid and build teams, and we gain our financial freedom through people buying products. I thank God that we don't just have CBD, because I have a ton of customers and a ton of affiliates that buy HempWorks, a Cash-X, and sprays every single month. And in a volume-based industry, it's just a blessing to have so many different ways to gain volume. So, you know, I don't know there's any right or wrong way, Peter. It's just about, I would say, lead with what you're interested in, because the people that know you, that know and love you and trust you the most, already understand what drives you, and that's what I lead with. And some people don't even lead with products. Some people just lead with financial opportunity. You know, there's a ton of people that say, hey, we have all these things to set you free financially, and then people get to decide what makes the most sense for them. So yeah, it's all about keeping it simple. So I always just start with the HempWorks myself, and then if people see other things they're interested in, then I give them the information on the other product lines as well.
You know, you're absolutely right. The whoever you're talking to, they can feel your passion if you're excited about something, and if you're trying to promote something that's maybe not your forte. You know, we all have different strengths as far as the different products we sell, and if you're for some reason trying to sell a certain product that you're not that well versed in, it's not going to come across as passionate as something else that you really feel that you really love and you really know a lot about. So, but that doesn't mean you can't sell everything. It's just a matter of finding what you're passionate about and what the person you're talking to is passionate about, and find common ground. Joshua, did you have a question?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to hear from you.
Amazing to be on Dale's Monday call. Now, Chris.
Yes, sir. How are you, Joshua?
I'm doing well, my upline leader. Now, I have one question that bothers me. How do you open people to be open? How do you? Because I've talked to some leaders, but you find most of them, they are so closed. You cannot open them to have a look at what you have. How do you go about it? Second question, what do you do on a daily basis? Because success leaves clues. What do you do on a daily basis?
All right, so question 1, how do you get closed people open? Remember this, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You have to listen to people. If you go in, most of the time people are closed about the opportunity is because you're closed about listening to what they have to say. You have to build that relationship. You need to ask questions and then listen with intent. And if you can learn how to do this, it starts to open somebody's mind if they know you care. People will never be close to you if they know you care. If they honestly, if they feel like if you got commission breath and you're just out there breathing on people, you need to buy these products to make me rich, they're going to be closed. But I'll also tell you, time heals all wounds. Sometimes people are closed closed-minded at the moment, but if you keep working on that relationship while you're talking to open-minded people, they'll come back. You know, people always ask me, Chris, what do you do when people tell you no? And yes, people tell me no all the time, just like you guys get. But when somebody tells me no, the best thing you can do is believe them. If somebody says no, believe them. And then keep doing what you're doing. They're going to keep watching you, and then they'll circle around eventually. No know forever it's not right now, unless you keep going and you damage that relationship because they're closed-minded, and then they'll never want to circle back to what you're doing. So if somebody tells you no, believe them. And there are people that just won't ever come around. I mean, it's just the way it is. Not everybody believes in what you're doing. Not everybody believes you can do what you're doing. And you just have to understand that it's a numbers game. I had he's not really a mentor. When I was really young, I was like, my whole time growing up, my parents were in Amway, in network marketing in Amway. And every Wednesday night for years growing up, a guy in a suit and tie would show up at my house, set up an easel and a whiteboard. My mom and dad would invite over people. Most of the time, nobody came. Sometimes a couple of people did, or one person did. And they set up and would do a presentation in the living room. Us kids would summon to the bedroom. Mom and dad's friends were over. They'd have a presentation. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. My parents never had much success. But years later, after I was successful in network marketing, I actually ran into that guy, and I was just getting started. And I said, his name was Jeff. And I said, Jeff, how did you make millions of dollars in network marketing? He said, it was simple. I just showed enough people what I had to offer, and this is what happened. He said, it was a numbers game. He said, I showed the plan, they called it the plan, 1,135 times. He was retired at this point. He said, I was in 1,135 living rooms over my 10 or 15 year career. He says, out of those 1,135 plans I showed, 214 people signed up. Think about that. He's barely getting 20%, and he's doing meetings in living rooms night after night after night for 10 years. He says, out of those 200 and something people that started the business, 11 of them kept going. Out of those 11, 4 of them made me rich. That's it. It's just, some will, some won't. So what next? So if they're not open, move on, and they'll circle back. Now, the second question, Joshua, was what I do on a daily basis. So for me, and it's a little different for somebody that's in my position versus somebody that's starting today, because success loves speed. It takes massive action to get started. It takes massive action to get a business built up. So for a new person that may have a team of 1,000 people or less, I say you have to know how many people you're going to talk to every day. It should be at least 3. I would say 10. Once you've built a team, and for myself, the first thing I do is I have my schedule of how many Zooms. I got to do. Some days I do 12 or 13 Zooms, and they're almost an hour a piece. So that's 10 to 13 hours just on Zoom. So as you build teams, you might not have as much time to go create, talk to 10 people a day, but I always try to talk to 2 still. So I always make sure I'm exposing the business in some fashion or another. But my main goal for me is to support the team. But you never want to just go into management mode where you just sit back and wait for people to call you and tell you they need to do this Zoom or that Zoom. You always got to be creating, new streams of income. And new streams of income, the only way to get new streams of income in this business is to talk to new people. So it's real simple. The more people you talk to, the more money you're going to make. If you understand that principle, then you're going to have a whole bunch of success in this industry. So again, it's consistency, Josh. The main thing I try to do every day is be consistent and do a little bit more than I did the day before.
Great answer. I've got Elizabeth is asking, how do you assist teams that are spread in different towns that are not able to be on Zoom? Do you need to be there physically? Good question, Elizabeth.
Look, I've always believed high touch is better than high tech. So if you can be there physically, absolutely, you should be there physically. But at the same time, you don't want your team or your the people you're working with to take advantage of your time either. If you're going to travel somewhere, and let's say I'm going to drive 2 hours for a lunch appointment, I'm going to make sure that affiliate knows, look, if we're going to come do this, you need to have at least 5 people there, 10 people, whatever that number is that's realistic for both of you, and set expectations. So, but it's not required. And it's really hard to answer that question right now with COVID going on, because every market's different right now. I mean, I'm sitting in southern Utah right now, and I could invite 10 people over here, have a barbecue, and throw out a presentation. You go 2 hours that way to California, you can't do that. So it really just depends on the market you're in and how to do it. But I always believe high touch is better than high tech. So if you can spend time with people face to face and you can work with them face to face, then you're definitely going to have more success in the long run. And as far as spread out looking, and I understand a lot of people in Africa and different parts, they don't have the data. They can't. You guys have, can't remember what you call it, where your internet actually goes down, and you have, they call it surging or something. But you just have to work with what you have available, because you're not going to be able to fix how much internet you have. But WhatsApp, me personally, I use a ton of WhatsApp, and Dale was talking about that at the first of this call, how important it is to have WhatsApp so you can communicate, so that you can get people excited, you can keep people engaged and plugged into what's going on. So again, it's just important that whatever way and means possible you have, you utilize it to the most effective way that you can do it.
Exactly. You talk about WhatsApp. I've actually done full voice presentations just on WhatsApp, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It takes a little longer, but you still get the point across.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions out there? Let me see if there's anything here.
I have one more, if you don't mind, for Chris.
Sure, go ahead.
I know,
Absolutely.
like I said, I went through a lot of training with a lot of people on here and great leaders. But I know I just recently went to your page, Chris, and I looked at your banner page, and it's like showing what do they call it? The presentation,
The opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity thing. One of the events that I went to, and that.
Yeah.
It really boldly says, hey, I'm with My Daily Choice, or I'm with, some organization. And a lot of our training says, to, stay generic and all this. What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Well, here's my thoughts, Raymond. I have never, nor will I ever, be a social media expert. But you're right. When you're building using social media, so there's two ways you can use social media, right? One way is to recruit. If you're recruiting, then you need to have, that headshot that they talk about, so people know who you are and different things. And if you're using your page to recruit, then that's important. I use my page so people in MDC can find me. So like, if you go to my friends list, I'm sure 95% of them are affiliates. That's why you don't see me recruiting on Facebook. I use it for a means of connecting with all the MDC affiliates all over the world. If I was just starting, my page would look completely different if I was building on social media. But again, I'm a high touch. I'm not a high tech. And don't look at my page for what yours should look like. I promise you, mine's not what you want it to look like. Mine's more of you get off, you do an event, there's 5,000 people there that I've done, literally 50 of these events for the company. There's no way for them all to find me unless I have that kind of stuff on Facebook for affiliates to be able to reach out. So I use mine to connect with the team more than I use to recruit in the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So what you learned at Eric Warriesdale, which I've seen, is exactly what you should do. Don't copy mine. It's not,
okay.
It's not a recruiting thing.
Wondering,
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You can't go wrong by listening to Eric Worre. He's got a lot of great training.
Yeah.
Other questions? We're getting close to the hour, but I got time for another one if somebody'd like to ask. Anybody? Well, Chris, would you have anything you'd like to close out with?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say there's $28,000 up for grabs in the next 2 weeks, and I hope every single one of you are reaching for that and going to take advantage of that. And also that like you said at the first deal, that mastermind event, everybody can still qualify for it. You just got to get 25K this month. Some of you might just be starting. Some of you might only be 1,000 points away, whatever that looks like. Make sure that happens. But I will leave it with this. And I talked about this in the middle of the call. This is not an overnight success plan. This is a 3 to 5 year plan. And the only way, there's two ways that you can fail with My Daily Choice. One is to sit there and do nothing for 3 to 5 years and go, well, Chris lied. He said in 3 to 5 years I'd be rich. I've been on every call. I've paid my auto ship, but you didn't talk to anybody. You have to implement what you're learning on these calls and on the trainings and on corporate stuff. Everything you learn, you have to put that into action. The second way to fail at My Daily Choice is to quit. If you stay consistent and never quit, I promise you, you're going to get the results that you're after. There's just no way, there's no way not to. You keep getting trained, you keep getting better, you keep talking to people, and it's going to happen. But if you quit, there's no way you can win. So there really is no failing here unless you have zero activity or you quit. If you avoid those two things, you're going to win. It's that simple. And I can tell you, you can go look this whole world over at all the different network marketing companies and some gimmicks, some good companies, some other things. There's no other company out there that's doing what we're doing. There's no other company out there that's better at doing what we do than us. There's companies as good. And are we perfect? No, but we're just better. So I'm going to save you a whole bunch of time. Put your blinders on, quit worrying about what's happening in the network marketing world or other spaces, and just know you're home. Know you're here. Know you've already found what you were looking for. Quit looking for that and go earn what you're after. Go get what you deserve. It's your turn. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it back over to you, buddy. I got a 6-hour blizzard drive right in front of me.
Hey, Chris, we'll let you go. Hey, thanks for coming on here. We appreciate all your wisdom, and hey, be safe on that trip. I really appreciate you.
I'll do it. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next calls, I'm sure.
All right. You take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, he's getting ready to take about a 6-hour trip right through a massive snowstorm we got. So it was great that he came on. One thing I want to just something he said that kind of reminded me of something. When you are a distributor in a company like ours, where you have multiple ways to make money and multiple product lines, the biggest mistake you can make is to quit. And let me explain. We had a guy on our team who joined, was in it for quite a while, signed up several people, and then was enticed by a friend of his to go to another company, and he quit our company and went somewhere else. Well, guess what? One of the people that he got in the business went on to be a 500K affiliate with MDC. His check match on them would have been tens of thousands of dollars every single month, and he would have never had to done another thing with his business other than pay his monthly auto ship. I've talked to him since. He doesn't even want to talk about it. It's killing him that he knows he gave up just tens and tens of thousands of dollars every single month because he wasn't willing to sit there and stay with the company and pay his auto ship and really nothing else. You had to do nothing else, just that, and he would have earned that money. So always remember that you have the team, you have the affiliates, you have the family, you have many of them are going to continue on whether you're in the business or not. And if you leave and one of them does super well, you've just lost out. So for me, if you're buying your monthly auto ship and using it just for your own self, because we have so many products, it's easy to reach your monthly goal for an auto ship. Why would you ever quit? Why would you ever quit? You're getting the products you love, and you're still got that insurance policy that if somebody on your team ever really does take off and becomes a superstar, you're there to benefit. So when they talk about quitting, I hope you look at it from that angle too. It's not just about quitting because you don't think you can do it. You're quitting on the team that you've brought along. I've had my bad days where when I was in this business where I thought, boy, I had 30 no's today, and I'm just, I don't know if I can go on. And the only thing that kept me going on is the fact I have a connection to my group, my family, all my affiliates, and I would never do that to them. And the next day is a better day. The next day, things are so much better, and you take solace in the fact that you are helping other people succeed. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, because it's so important to not only think of yourself, if you think of your team, if you think of the success of your team and they are successful, you're automatically be successful just by default. So I never worry about how I'm going to do in this business. I never worry about my success. I worry about my team's success. And if they're successful, I'll be successful. So we're at the 105 here. So we've been on for just an hour. That's what I try to keep it to. I appreciate all of you coming on. I hope you enjoyed the question and answer period. Just next week, we have Jermaine Johnson's coming on, who's a phenomenal speaker, and you won't want to miss that. So having said all that, you guys have a great week. I love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, Dale.
Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for the call. Thank you so much, Dale.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Have a great
It
day.
was awesome.